What's up, Ragin Nation? My name is Alex Yu, and you're watching the superhero edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series where I talk about all things that matter to me in the world of movies, specifically in superhero and comic book movies. The very first thing I want to talk about is that Chronicle director Josh Trank is directing the Fantastic Four reboot. That's right, Fantastic Four is being rebooted, and the first two Fantastic Four movies were average to suck. So I think it's about time that they rebooted it, and by none other than the director of Chronicle. And speaking of Chronicle, Chronicle 2 is being written by the original writer, Max Landis. And Chronicle director Josh Trank is not coming back to direct it. But it will be still a pretty cool movie, just because I like superhero movies and I like vlogging and I like amateur filmmaking. So you put two and two together, you got a cool movie, and it's going to be featuring the very first world's supervillain. Not the first world supervillain, but the world's first supervillain. So that's what that's going to be about. And speaking of directing, James Mangold, he will be directing The Wolverine. This is kind of old news, but what I really wanted to talk to you about is that it's going to be shooting on location in Japan and doing some stage work in Australia, and it's going to have a January 26, 2013 release date. So, you know, that's not that far away. That's actually next year and the beginning of next year, so we can expect to see some more Wolverine. Speaking of Wolverine, X-Men First Class sequel is coming because they're going to be shooting it in January 2013 for possibly a Christmas 2013 or summer 2014 release. Matthew Vaughn is coming back to direct. And speaking of Matthew Vaughn won't be directing Kick-Ass 2. It's going to be directed by Jeff Wadlow. I've never seen any of his work, but the original cast is actually really excited to return. So they all want to come back, and there's going to be a possible August start date, so they can start production on that pretty quickly. Speaking of more reboots, David James Kelly, he's going to be rewriting the Daredevil reboot. I didn't even know Daredevil had a first draft. But when things get rewritten and rewritten and rewritten, that's usually a bad thing for a movie. That's not a good sign. But that's happening. So Daredevil is apparently being rewritten for the reboot. The original movie, I think, made $100 million domestically. It was directed by Mark Steven Johnson and starred Ben Affleck, and it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't that bad, but I felt that the director's cut was a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to this this reboot of Daredevil. It's going to be directed by David Slade, who directed Hard Candy, which was decent, a little bit disturbing, but decent. But a really bad vampire movie called 30 Days of Night. It was not that good. The funny thing is that he went on to direct another bad vampire movie called Twilight Eclipse. Well, I can't really say that it's bad just because I've never seen it, but I don't plan to watch it. But anyways, that's what's happening. David Slade is directing the reboot to Daredevil. And what else do we have? What else do we have in the world of comic books? Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman, the writing duo behind Transformers, they will be writing the story or the script rather, for The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for summer 2014. Can you believe that? The movie isn't even out yet, and they're already writing a sequel. But the interesting thing is that they're going to be talking about the origins of Peter Parker. They're going to expand on that. When I said the origins of Peter Parker, I don't mean the origins of Spider-Man, because we already saw the origins. We're talking about Peter Parker, so most likely it's going to talk about his parents. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Speaking of the writing duo, they're also doing a reimagination for Van Helsing and the Mummy. I know that's not like really comic book stuff. Well, Van Helsing is, but the Mummy isn't really comic book stuff, but I thought that was kind of interesting, so I thought I'd bring that up. What else is going on? Oh, Hulk. We're gonna see more Hulk. You liked Hulk in the Avengers. He played the best Hulk and best Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo. Well, he signed on for 6 more movies with Marvel. So that could mean a lot of things. That could mean that he's actually gonna not only appear in his own movie, but he's also gonna appear in more Avengers movies. And he could possibly appear as like a supporting cast or just make an appearance in other Avengers individual member movies. So for example, he might appear in just Captain America's movie or something. But all I know is that he signed up for 6 more movies, so he's gonna appear as Hulk once again 6 more times. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna do it 6 more times, but he has a contract to fulfill 6 movies, whether they make it or not. So that's what's happening with the Hulk, so I'm excited about that. I thought that Mark Ruffalo did a really great job with Hulk. And speaking of Avengers, Iron Man 3, what's going on with Iron Man 3? Jon Favreau, who served as an executive producer for the Avengers, he's doing the same thing for Iron Man 3. And even though it's directed by Shane Black, I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of Jon Favreau's fingerprints on it. So that's actually a good thing, because I thought that he did a really great job with the first Iron Man. Iron Man 2, you know, it could have been better, but still, it's because of Jon Favreau's directing that Tony Stark is the way he is, and of course because of Robert Downey Jr.'s amazing acting, and he's just really comfortable with that role. Anyways, speaking of roles in Iron Man 3, we have who is that guy? What's that guy's name? James Badge Dale. I don't really know who he is. James Badge Dale. I've never seen any of his work, but he's going to be playing a character by the name of Eric Savin. Eric Savin is a SHIELD team member, and his alter ego is a character by the name of Coldblood, who's kind of a cyborg, kind of like RoboCop, where he's like half man but with cyborg parts. So that's who he's gonna be in Iron Man 3. I don't know if he's gonna be playing Coldblood in Iron Man 3, or is just gonna be Eric Savin but setting it up for Iron Man 4. So that's what's happening with Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 comes out summer 2013, so that's gonna be really exciting, something to look forward to for next year. Anyways, that's all I have to say in the world of comic book movies. I want to ask you guys, I talked about a lot of sequels and reboots. We got Iron Man 3, Kick-Ass 2, X-Men First Class sequel, more Hulk movies, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, a Chronicle 2, Fantastic Four reboot, Daredevil reboot, and also, actually, no, that's about it. Oh yeah, the Wolverine, okay? Which one of those movies are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, show me some support by clicking that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Q, and thanks for watching the superhero edition of The Ragin Nation show. I'll see you next time. Peace. I would still recommend that you watch the movie in 2D. I just think that the 3D element really doesn't add anything or enhance the movie in any way.